Hey everyone, welcome to Sonya's Quilts and Embroidery. If you've never seen any of my videos, welcome, and I hope that you subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of tutorials on how to make certain quilts, how I do what I do, how I make the t-shirt quilts, how I do different things, applique, easy way to do a perfect applique. It's just several things like that. How to add small pieces to your memory quilts, how to add blue jeans to your memory quilts, just several things like that. When I think of something when I'm doing something that I think you would find useful, I try to video it. I don't know if I actually posted the video where I talked about kind of my history of sewing and things like that, but if I didn't, back in the late 80s, early 90s, my sister and my mother started a sewing business, and it was called Alpha Accessories, and we made these turtlenecks, and these are actually really long. They're like 18 inches long in the front and the back, and that was a long time ago. I hadn't seen one of them in a long time. Back probably in 2011 or 12, I had a lady that just showed up at my house one day. We were still living in Lexington, and she just showed up one day, and she said she had been to town, to the mall, and she had been into a store there, and she was looking for these. And the woman told her, well, we don't carry them anymore, but the woman that used to make them, and told her exactly where I lived. And I said, I don't have any, haven't had any in years. I said, who told you that? She said, I don't know who she was, but she did. She told me that you're the. I said, we were the one that supplied Parisians, the entire chain of Parisians, with those turtlenecks. I said, but we, after all the factories moved to Mexico and wherever, we did not have the supplies that we needed to make them. I mean, this is actually the rib knit. This is the knit that you use on like the band on the top of your t-shirt, or the band on the bottom of your long sleeve t-shirts. This is the rib knit. It's 50-50. Don't shrink, don't warp, don't go crazy when you wash it. And we made probably 3,000 dozen a year, I guess. And like I said, we supplied the entire Parisian chain, which was like 28 stores. And we did that, and then all the factories moved away, and they're the ones that manufacture. We would buy the overruns. We'd buy the fabric that they made too much, and that's what we'd buy. We made them in red. But anyway, the reason I've got on one today is because we were cleaning out the apartment at my father-in-law's house for his caregiver to live in while when he comes home from the rehab. He's coming home Sunday, but we had to go out there and clean out the apartment that's on his property for his lady to stay in while she's there taking care of him. And in that, I found a huge plastic bag with these in it. There was some black ones with pumpkins on them. Well, just hold on a second. I'll show them to you. Okay. We had it's a teal green one. This was just plain. They don't have anything on it. And then I've got this white with this like bells and Christmas bells and ribbons. And then this little cluster of bells. Excuse me. Still sick. Still working. And the air is very fresh out here today. Very fresh. If you don't know what I mean by that, I complain too much about the hot weather. So I'm not going to complain about the cold weather because I don't want to complain. And I do like cold weather, but I don't want it to be cold. We've got this little candy cane with a bow. And we've got this color. This is a mock turtleneck. It don't flip down. Some people like those. And we've got this kind of weird green, kind of a hunter green color. These need to be ironed. Kind of wrinkled. And we have the yellow. But my mother-in-law had went through some of my stuff apparently at one time or the other. Navy blue. And pulled these out and saved them for whatever reason. She saved everything. And anyway, I found them. It was like, wow, a blast from the past. And then this rust color, which I love. This is a good color for fall. And then another hunter green. This is another style that we made. We made some of this because some people preferred the short ones. See, it's a little bit short one. But I had forgotten until I found these the other day. I had my own label. Sonya B Fashions. I was a butler then. That's a whole nother story. And purple, nice royal purple. Actually, that technically in the shirt factory days was called grape. And then we got this black with a Christmas wreath on it. And I don't know if I've shown this candy cane with a bow on it. I may have. And then like a magenta long. See how long they are? I mean, you could actually wear them with a V-neck sweater or something like that because they're very, very long. And then we have the gray heather. Wish I could find this fabric. I'd love to. Oh, we got Mr. Snowman. And I will show that one. The black with the reef. Don't show that one. I already showed that one. And I already shown that one. And then kind of a, this is a mock neck. Kind of a buttery yellow color. And, oh, this is new. The red with the Noel. And then we have, this was my favorite back then. I love this color. Love sewing this color. Love everything about this color. The hot pink. But we made literally thousands of dozens of these a year. Back, like I said, late 80s, early 90s, but I was glad to find those. And this morning, it's so fresh out here today. It's nice and fresh air out here that I dug one out and put one on under my sweatshirt. Don't know that it's happened yet or not, but need some feet warmers out here. But it's supposed to be like warmer today than it was yesterday, but I don't feel it yet. Hadn't felt the warmth yet. But I go in the house every now and then to thaw out. Got to get my orders finished. I'm almost done. Got a couple of logo shirts that logo orders I got to do. I'm gaining some on my logos. I like to have logos for people that want me to get their logo digitized, and that way anytime they need a shirt, any shirt's done, they're going to come to you, and because you have their design. So, but got a couple, almost done with one order, and the other order is like 18 shirts or more, and I had the design digitized, and they didn't like, it's not that they didn't like it, it's just that they decided to do some changes on it. So I've had to reorder that, and the design only takes like 10 minutes to stitch out. It takes longer than that really to put them on get them on the machine. We'll get those done this weekend, and I I've got one more quilt to do after these 3 big Alabama quilts, and I can say Alabama quilts now because they've been totally redesigned and don't step on it. It doesn't step on anybody's toes the way I do these now. So I do actually post pictures of these on my Facebook page, which I couldn't post the other ones because they didn't like that. They called me personally and told me they didn't like it. So I had to completely redesign my Alabama quilt. I hadn't redesigned the Auburn one yet, but that's because nobody's ordered one. But I will redesign the Auburn quilt too. But these is quite a production to get these made, and I will not redesign the Auburn until somebody calls me up and says I want to order an Auburn quilt. I just don't have time to do that. I am going to remake my life next year. Doing things a lot different next year than I've done before. There's a lot of new products that I want to do. There's a lot of stuff I want to get made up before I offer it. I want to get them made up, and so that I can just put them in a shipping container and put an address on them and ship them out. That I haven't got to sit down, cut out the fabrics, sew them together, quilt them, and do this and do that, and then send it out. I want some stuff that is ready-made that I can just pop in the mail and it be done. There's nothing more satisfying than selling something that you've already got made and you don't have to do anything to it. But I was going to kind of do a little recap of the year. Used to, when I first started doing what I do, I would be really, really busy till Christmas. And then after Christmas, I wouldn't do anything till April. Didn't get an order, didn't get a phone call, didn't get a message or nothing. Just nothing. And then I started doing, people started asking me to do their quilts for their kids' graduation, their grandkids' graduation. And then it didn't take long. Everybody wanted me to do one for graduation until I had to have I first had a cutoff a deadline on those like April the 30th. The next year I had to back it up to February the 20th. So, you know, it's just how fast that things change. So, I am going to have a limit of how many that I'm going to do of those this year. And I just, you know, there's something that a lot of people don't understand. When you're self-employed like I am and you do what I do, you're still a human being. Now, we have 5 children. We have 10 grandchildren. And you know, you can make plans all day long. You can say, well, tomorrow I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And then one phone call turns that upside down, you know. Mama, so-and-so is sick. Can you run to school and pick them up? Well, to pick up any of my grandkids, it's at least a 45-minute drive to me to pick them up. That's the closest grandchild. And then, you know, may get a call, hey, will you come down here and help us out? All 3 of the kids are sick, and we're exhausted, and can you come help us out? So I'm in the car an hour later. It doesn't matter what's on my machine. You know, my children and grandchildren come first. Now, if they just want me to say, hey, why don't you come down here and let's go to the beach this weekend? You know, I might have to say, well, next weekend will be better. Or I wish I had a better, you know, bigger, longer notice or whatever. But if it's sickness or something like that, you know, I drop everything and go. When you're self-employed, when you do like I do it, and thousands of other people that, I mean, I'm not unique. There are people out there that do, there's Sterling Styles that does the custom tutus and custom t-shirts for boys, that makes the custom t-shirts for boys, makes the tutu sets for girls, makes the hair bow sets, makes all of these things. If you want to look at her stuff on Etsy, it is Tool Time, like Tulle time, I think is what I and Sterling Styles, her YouTube channel, she does what I do, and she has 2 young, well, she's got like I think Sterling is about 12 now, and then Journey just turned 2. She has a husband, and you know, and you're spread really, really thin sometimes. I mean, there is Angela from can't remember her YouTube channel, but she has got a baby that was just born like 6 weeks ago, and then a little girl that's like 3 or 4, and you know, there you have to stop what you're doing a lot of times and take care of them. And there's no sick days. You have no vacation days built up. You have no sick days built up. And I have been sick for the past at least week and a half, and I've been out here just about every day. There's a couple days that got me down bad enough that I didn't come out here, but for the most part, I'm here. Today I'm out here, and it's very, 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 very fresh air out here today. And I keep hoping it'll warm up, but it hasn't warmed up out here much yet today. And so, but I've got to run to town here shortly, and when I do, I'm going to turn my seat warmer on, and I'm going to turn my heater on as high as it'll go, so I can get thawed out before I come back. I wish you could retain heat like that for long periods of time, but if you wanted to, and but it is what it is. And I'm almost done with Christmas orders. I'm so excited to be almost done with them. It's, you know, all comes down, and I would have been done last week, except that I got sick, and even though I did work, it slowed me way down. My right ear is stopped up. I don't hear in stereo anymore. I only hear in whatever it's called, mono, and but my ear is stopped up so bad, and it affects my thinking. It affects my equilibrium. And I've been over the other day to pick up something, and I almost turned to flip. And that would have been a sight, let me tell you. If I'd have turned to flip, I'd be laid up. But this year I went to the Smoky Mountains with my daughter and her husband and the 4 kids. Had a great time. We went camping back in March for a week of spring break. That was good until I fell down the stairs in my camper and broke my butt. I had to walk easy for about a week after that. And then the day that school was out in South Alabama, my daughter came up with the 3 kids, and we went camping for 11 days then. And then just try to do some stuff for the kids and the grandkids and create memories and you know, just have a good time together. And you know, I love what I do. I enjoy what I do, but I do get burnt out sometimes. I do get to the point that sometimes I think, oh, if I have to start another quilt, I'm going to explode. And then I start another quilt and I don't explode. But, you know, just, you know, had a great year. Got a lot of quilts made a lot of people happy with their stuff. Made 14 teddy bears last week while I was sick. 8 was made for one family, and another 5 was made for another family, and then another individual one was made for another person. And I've actually need to make 2 more of those, but I'm going to do those when I get all this other stuff done, all this other stuff shipped. Then I will make those 2 teddy bears. They're local pickups. I hurried up and got all the stuff done that had to be shipped. The rest of it's local pickups. Not worried about that. And but the stuff that has to be shipped, I'd like to get it shipped by this evening at 4:30, so that it will give it, you know, all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Not Sunday, but Friday, Saturday. And they may be moving mail on Sunday. I don't know. But Friday, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. And that's 4 days. And you can get from here to California by the U.S. mail in 4 days. So I've shipped a lot of stuff and it got there the next day. So I got a couple things going, I think, to Florida or South Alabama. And I want to get, and one going to Mississippi. And I do want to get those shipped out. I'd like to get them shipped out today so that they will have them by Christmas, as I promised. These 3 Big King Alabamas, if I don't get these done in time, I will just ship these. I will just put these in my car and carry them to the lady myself. She is sick. She said she would not be here next year, and she wanted to get something nice for her sons to have. So she ordered these very late in the game, and I went ahead and took her order, and it's come down to the wire, because that is 3 kings is 60 squares that have to be either embroidered or appliqued. And you don't put 60 applique squares out in one day. It takes time to do those. So, but they're done. They're all put together now. Just got to get them quilted, bounded, folded, put in a package, and shipped. So I think if I can get those in the mail tomorrow evening, they'll make it in time. But if I don't, I'll just put them in the car, go and take them to her, drive another 30 miles and go and see my daughter and son-in-law and grandkids and spend time with them and come back the next day. So, don't have a Christmas tree put up. I just do not have to. I have not had time to do it, and nobody seems to want to help me do it. So I have no tree put up. No Christmas. Only Christmas decoration I've got up is a snowman hat I made at the senior center one day out of a coffee can and a plate, and it's cute. That's the only Christmas decoration I have out in my house. Going to be a major cleanup in this shop. I mean, major. I can't wait to throw things away. Major cleanup in this shop as soon as get the Christmas stuff done. I'll be here alone on Christmas Day. Probably alone on Christmas Eve. My husband has to work. He has to. It doesn't matter what holiday falls on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. He has to work. So Christmas Eve is Tuesday, and Christmas is Wednesday, and he'll be gone until Friday. My daughter will try to go to one of her friends' houses like she does every year, looking for her something to eat. And I will be here alone. And I'm looking forward to that. Don't feel sorry for me because I'm alone on Christmas, because we have our Christmas with our kids and stuff on the Saturday after Christmas so that they can get to everywhere else they need to go. They can spend some time at home playing with their toys and stuff like that. And then on Saturday, come to my house and eat, and they can stay all day if they want and just eat and play and have a good time. And I've just been doing mine on Saturday after Christmas for a long time. And, so that's how I do it. So it doesn't bother me to be home alone on Christmas. It doesn't bother me at all. I enjoy my own company. I don't ever get lonesome. I don't get depressed. And I really enjoy my time alone. And I would like to finally, like I said, when you're self-employed, you don't have any sick days. And I was thinking the other day, I would like to just be able to be sick for a few days. Not that I'm asking for any kind of illness to come on me. I would just like to have the opportunity to be able to take something that would help me, help me sleep and help me with all this stuff. But you can't take anything to make you sleepy. I can't. If I took anything to make me sleepy, I'd be hung over for about 3 days. And I'd like to be able to lay on the couch and watch TV and stay warm and comfortable and just take some sick days. Just lay on the couch and take some sick days. And that's why I raised my children and got them out of the house, and so I could be sick, by myself and have some days to recover. Because I remember the days of when they were little. You had a cold, they had a cold, everybody felt bad, and nobody cared about mama. And now, when I'm sick, don't have any little kids I got to run after. Worked a long time to get to this place in my life. And my oldest son is 36, my baby is 21. So I worked a long time to get to the spot in my life where I didn't have to carry anybody anywhere or fix everybody something to eat. They can fix themselves something to eat, and I can just lay on the couch and feel bad. But I have not had time to do that yet. Haven't had time to feel bad. Hadn't had time to really deal with it. But anyway, I've got another quilt to get started on immediately, and after these, and if I thought that I could get them done by about 1:30, I would go ahead and get it done right quick, but I don't think I will, and I need to get started on putting the binding on these quilts that need to ship. So this will probably, I may do one more video on a tutorial on basically if you have, after the presents are wrapped and everybody's gone and you're still off work and you need something to do and you want to be creative or whatever and you wished you had a project to do, I'm going to try to video this project that I have in mind, and it will be a prelude to an actual quilt that we're going to make. And but there's going to be some prep work, some creativity that has to be done before the actual quilt is made. So I would like to get that video done, and that way if you can pull out, you'll be using a lot of scraps and stuff like that, and that we can get this going, and so that during the Christmas holidays, during New Year's, Christmas, all of that, while you have some time that you would like to spend in your sewing room or whatever, you can work on this and get these done so that when we actually get ready to make the quilt, you'll be ahead of the game. So I appreciate y'all watching so much. I hope you have a happy and safe Christmas, and enjoy your family and enjoy your time, and we're going to get this place cleaned up and organized, or I'm going to bust. And but anyway, appreciate it so much, and be kind to your self-employed, not going to say crafters. I don't consider myself a crafter. I don't know what I consider myself, but be kind, because you're not the only person they're working on. One of the things that really, really gets on my nerves, people just cannot understand this. First of all, number one, when you placed your order, I was not looking for something to do. You were behind 50 people when you placed your order. So I was not looking for a job to do when you contacted me. I'm grateful that you did contact me. I'm very happy that you contacted me. But I wasn't looking for something to do. It wasn't like I'm like, oh boy, an order. Let's clear everything off and let's get this order done. No. I never have to wonder what I got to do tomorrow. I always got a list. Number two, when you start texting and saying, when's it gonna be done? When's it gonna be done? When's it gonna be done? You're not helping yourself out at all. That puts my nerves into such a position of absolutely can't function. I don't know how else to describe it. I wake up during the night when I have, and it won't be just one person that's doing that. They may think they're the only person that's doing that, but there's 50 other people just like them that is doing the same thing. When's my order going to be done? When are you going to be done with it? Well, I ordered it last month. I paid your deposit last month. I know. I wrote it down. But there were 50 people ahead of you. So when you have, all these people, when's it going to be done? When's it going to be done? That just grates on a person's nerves. I mean, really, really grates on your nerves. And so it doesn't help your situation at all. It doesn't help get your order done faster. It just causes the person that's doing the order to say, basically, I've had it for today. I'm done for today. I'm not going to do anything else today because my nerves are so shot. So, bear that in mind, that you're not the only one that has placed an order. I do right around 400 quilts a year. So, it's okay at the beginning, because like what I said a while ago, when I first started, I didn't do anything from like January the 1st till April. I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. I had no orders, nothing. Nobody contacted me at all. And the next year, I was a lot more, but not as much as like the third year. The third year is when I was just like, overwhelmed. And there were boxes coming in the mail, mostly boxes coming in the mail. Because still at that time, people that I knew close by didn't even know what I did. Didn't even know that I do what I do. They knew me. They were like, well, I didn't know you did that. So the people that lived closest to me knew less about me than people that lived in Texas and Louisiana and Florida and Mississippi and Georgia or whatever. Now, all my neighbors know what I do. All the people in the Quad Cities know what I do. Everybody in the edge of Tennessee and everybody in Alabama knows what I do now. Even the people on my door, right next door knows what I do. So I may have somebody pop in and say, I got a little job for you. And you do. And I had a lady call me the other day, sweet lady, but she has no comprehension of the volume that I do. And she called me and she said, I've got a little old lady that don't have anybody, and I was going to give her a coat that I had. Apparently this coat was from the 80s because it had shoulder pads in it. And she said, I was going to give her this coat, and she said, but it's got shoulder pads in it, and I was going to see if you could, what you would charge me to take those out. And I said, well, I don't price a job like that until I see. I said, the shoulder pads on the outside or the inside of the lining? Well, they're on the inside. If it was on the outside, I would just clip them out myself. And I said, well, I'd have to look at it to see how big area that I have to clip the seam of the lining out to get to that, and then repair that, where I ripped it out and all of that. And I'll just have to look at it. I said, but it's going to be the middle of January before I can get to it. Oh, well, I didn't know. I said, yeah. I said, she had just a few days before that, brought me in 3 t-shirts. And she wanted the rib knit removed from her t-shirts, and for me to serge around the hole that it left, because she didn't like her shirts too close. That is a little job. That's not much to that. It don't take but a minute. But when you're already busy doing something else, and I have to get out my serger, I have to cut that off, serge around that, I have to thread my serger, make sure it's sometimes just a sewing machine just sitting and nobody touching it, nobody doing anything to it. It still won't sew. It's thread just gets, I don't know, what thread just has a party or something, and it just gets all messed up. So I had to get that out, make sure the threads was all threaded right and all of that. And so I just laid them aside, and I told her, I'll get to them as quick as I can. And she's like, I reckon she thought I was going to do them while she stood here and waited for them. Finally, after about 3 or 4 days, she called. She said, I need those shirts. We're going to a something or another that I was going to wear those shirts. And I said, can you have them for me by tomorrow? I said, sure. So I just had to stop what I was doing, take out the serger, put it on my sewing machine here, fix it for her. Her sister came pick the stuff up, and that's when she called me and asked me about removing the shoulder pads out of that coat. And to me, if it's cold weather, the little old lady don't have a coat, she needs a coat, go ahead and give it to her. If she says something about it later that she says, I don't really like the shoulder pads, then bring it to me, after Christmas is over with, good and over with, and Mike can pull you up a chair and fix that for you while you sit there and wait on it. But not right now. I can't even do little jobs right now. The little jobs are the hardest jobs, because usually a little job, to make something little, it's not what you're already doing, which is making quilts. And so it requires you kind of to do this in your head of rearranging your thoughts into this small project. So, but be courteous and kind to your custom, independent, home-based businesses, because they work very hard for what they do and get, like I said, no vacation, no sick days, no overtime, nothing. So, but anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great, great Christmas. Have a happy holidays. I hope Santa Claus brings you everything that you wanted. I hope you were nice enough.